What's up, self-healers? Lisa Lightfeather here. Welcome to my channel, Closing the Gap, where we make a conscious effort to meet you where you're at on your spiritual journey. Before I get started, don't forget to like and subscribe, maybe drop a comment, and you're welcome to share. Today I will be referencing the topic of Kundalini awakening. I've made previous videos on it, but for those who have not watched those videos or other videos similar to mine, I'd like to explain a little bit about what Kundalini is. Kundalini is an energy that lies dormant in every human being at the base of the spine. It lies coiled like a snake. It's akin to a snake, or it's described as a snake. The reason it's described as a snake is because once it's awakened, it starts to rise up the spine. Kundalini can be activated in several ways. It can be activated through things like trauma and an accident. For example, a car wreck. A person could be in a car wreck, and because of the jolting of the back, it activates Kundalini. It could be activated during things like surgery, back surgery, or neck surgery. It could even be activated during times like childbirth. Other traumatic events that may activate Kundalini could be sexual trauma, maybe falling. Any way that the back can be injured, it can activate Kundalini. Kundalini can also be activated in natural ways, such as the more traditional way, through years practice of yoga and years of meditation. People who practice these spiritual practices have a tendency to activate the Kundalini. Kundalini can also be activated if one partakes in things such as plant medicine. Medicines such as peyote, San Pedro, or ayahuasca. It can also be activated through drugs that aren't natural, such as LSD. So, regardless of how the Kundalini is activated, there is a process that one goes through, a process of transformation that one goes through once the Kundalini is activated. In the previous video, Kundalini and Chaos, I described how Kundalini has affected me on a personal level going through the first 3 chakras. Today I will describe how it's been affecting me as it goes through the upper 4 chakras. Now, Kundalini is not linear. It's not that everyone starts off at the root chakra and then goes to the crown. Some people can awaken at the crown, some people can awaken at the heart, some people can awaken at the root. And Kundalini is not linear as far as it goes up and then it stays up, it stays in the line. Kundalini can move around. It can be like today it might be the crown chakra that Kundalini is working on, or it might be the throat chakra, and then later on this evening it might be the root chakra. So it's not a linear process. But once the Kundalini breaks through the heart chakra, it's a different process, very different. So in Kundalini breaking through the heart chakra, which took years for me, it kind of stayed in the solar plexus chakra, yeah? And once it broke through the heart chakra, things began to change. Okay, so when it broke through the heart chakra, I was actually asleep. Okay, and I'll speak more about this when I go over the video of Kundalini symptoms. But I woke up to the feeling of having a heart attack, and I couldn't move. After that, things began to change, yeah? So I became very almost sad. I became very emotional, almost feeling like a broken heart. And the Kundalini going through the heart space occurred due to a trauma that happened to someone very near and dear to me. And so it affected me on such a level that the Kundalini was activated to break through the heart chakra. I'd like to give thanks for my family member, for the trauma that they went through in assisting me on my spiritual journey, because It works like that. Yeah. It works like that. We come back for one another. We come back for one another to help one another evolve. So you come back into your family cell for a reason. Yeah. Some of us karmic, some of us all love. But either way, we come back to help one another evolve. So Kundalini going through the heart chakra, one can be very emotional, very empathic. Like if you're an empath on a level of 5, you go up to like an empath on a level of 20. Yeah. And so it moves through the throat chakra. With the throat chakra, it can be very, very disruptive because it can make you stutter. It can block your voice. You feel like something's in your throat all the time. You literally, stuff just comes out of your mouth. Whatever you're feeling in your heart just comes out. And sometimes it's not very appropriate. And so I have said things that I'm trying to express because my throat chakra is open. I'm trying to express something that's in my heart. But because of the frequency of Kundalini, I'm not expressing it the way that I really want to express it. So it comes across as something else. So it can be very embarrassing because when Kundalini is going through the throat chakra, stuff just kind of tumbles out. It's like, what did I didn't mean to say that. What I meant was, but it's almost too late. I will go over other symptoms of Kundalini in other videos, but you can have like a really sore throat, almost like tonsillitis, but there's no other symptoms. Usually when you have a sore throat, there's a fever accommodates it. It's like a warning that you are about to get sick. But when Kundalini is moving through the throat, it's just a sore throat for no reason. And it comes and goes. It'll be there 1 minute, you'll wake up with a really bad sore throat, or later on in the afternoon you have a sore throat, and then an hour later it's gone. And so it's Kundalini when the symptoms are really intense and then they kind of back off. Yeah. So another thing that I noticed about Kundalini in the upper 3 chakras is that my posture is it's different. It's kind of off. Like I'll kind of lean one way or the other way. It's like something's going on with my spine. Another thing, once Kundalini passes the throat and goes into the third eye, or into the third eye chakra, you begin to have these dreams that are very, very vivid, and it's almost like that something is communicating with you. Like your ancestors will show up in your dreams. They'll give you messages. You have a lot of synchronicities start coming really, really quickly. The upper 3 chakras is quite new for me because it's been 7 months, but it seems like it happened yesterday. That's another thing. Time and space it's like there is no time and space. You look up and it's the end of the day, or you look up and it's the end of the month again. It's like time doesn't exist. And so that's the only way I can explain that. You may have like headaches. You can literally be speaking with someone and you can hear what they're thinking. So if you go to like a psychiatrist and tell them something like this, they are going to look at you like, girl, take these pills. Get out of my office. And so the upper chakras is a whole different ball game. Being very emotional, things coming up that you need to forgive, things that you need to let go of. It becomes a very emotional, spiritual time. And you get closer to nature. You start seeing nature differently. Like, I've always loved nature anyways, but you start seeing it as it communicating with you. Insomnia is crazy, like since the upper chakras have opened up, sleeping has been very difficult. Yeah. And so tomorrow I will go over symptoms, go in deep detail of the symptoms of Kundalini. But when the upper chakras open up, when the heart chakra opens up, there's a period of just blissfulness, this really calmness, almost if like you have arrived where, I don't know, but it's almost like, oh, all the work I've been doing has finally paid off. This is it. This is what I've been seeking. You're just so calm, like nothing can bother you. You don't allow anyone to, you have solid boundaries, right? Because we've already developed that through the lower 3 chakras. But there's just calmness that you feel like you want to protect at all costs. Yeah, because it's just such a beautiful calmness. However, that calmness comes and goes. Just like with the lower 3 chakras where the chaos comes and goes, the calmness of the heart chakra comes and goes, you know? So I don't want you to take a lot of time to spend a lot of time chasing that bliss of the calmness and just realize that it's just part of the process. Yeah, it's just a part of it. It's not the end state. I don't personally know what the end state is, you know, or if there even is an end state. I can only share with you what's happened to me and what I've been through. Part of this is forgiving yourself, forgiving others, accepting the fact that we've come back for this, letting things go. That maybe you may have been holding on to something. It's almost like you just let go of it naturally, like, you know, it doesn't even matter, you know? And you're not being passive aggressive, you know, you're just like, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't. This may be difficult for some people, and so I like to give you tools that you might be able to use along your journey to assist you with certain aspects, the hardest aspects of it. Another thing that may occur is that your psychic intuition is heightened, yeah, and you're led to do things. Like, for example, I never had a desire to make a YouTube channel, but I was led to do this. I was also led to this space where I'm living right now. Like, I would have never chosen this town. Like, it's almost like the town chose me, you know? So there's certain things that happen that you have no explanation for. And when the upper chakras start opening, that's okay. You're just like, okay, there's no resistance to the flow of your life. There's no resistance. It's just like you just flow, yeah? But there are some very difficult times when things will come up where you know, you might cry it out or whatever, but you ultimately just let it go. But you kind of see past the incident. You kind of see past the trauma. It's like, okay, that happened. You acknowledge it and you just kind of flow with it. But I do understand that some people will have a hard time with such things. So I do have a tool here for you by David R. Hawkins. It is the book called Letting Go, The Pathway to Surrender. In this book, he speaks about surrendering to your healing process, surrendering to your journey, yeah? So you can get this book and it may help you through your process. Another thing that I noticed with the upper chakras opening is that my vision is better. Like my vision's better. I read faster. I hear better, which that's annoying because everything seems loud to me. I can't be in loud areas or loud spaces for very long because it's like people are speaking in a normal voice, but to me it's like they're yelling, you know? So it's like very uncomfortable for me. But those are some of the symptoms and some of the things you might experience with the upper 4 chakras. It's a good place to be. It's almost like it's still, the confusion and things are still there, but it's on a milder level. It's more like there's an inner knowing versus when it was going through the lower 3 chakras where it was like, WTF, I'm dying here, you know? The upper chakra is just like, okay, there's an inner knowing that although it's not comfortable, that everything is going to be okay, yeah? It's almost like and integration. It's almost like bringing the upper with the lower and integrating it. And it's a point of surrender. It's a point of surrender, because if you're lucky enough to survive the lower 3 chakras, honey, you're tired. You are tired, okay? So it's almost a welcome surrender. There are some side effects that can be uncomfortable and uneasy and annoying. And tomorrow's video will be all over the symptoms that I have experienced along my Kundalini awakening journey. And I'll be happy to share those with you. I don't want to keep my videos too long, because I do understand that our attention span these days is like very short, to include mine. Yeah. So I hope that today's video has assisted you on your journey. If you are experiencing Kundalini awakening, or if you're having certain symptoms and you don't know what they are, that this video may assist you. And I think that once you learn to surrender, that your journey will be much nicer, not comfortable, but it'll be more manageable. Yeah. So we have no control over what Kundalini is going to do. I don't know what tomorrow holds. I just trust. I have an inner knowing that it's going to be okay. I have an inner knowing that everything will integrate, and I'm just resting in that. And I encourage you to do the same. Don't forget to continue doing your shadow work, your inner child work. Don't forget to study your natal chart so that you can remember what you've come back here to do. You can remember who you are, and you can stand in your power. Thank you for tuning in today. That's all I have. Thank you for tuning in to Closing the Gap, where we make a conscious effort to meet you where you're at on your spiritual journey. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Y'all have a good day.